Hey traders from around the world, welcome to your Friday real life stock review. I trust you're doing simply splendid. It is Friday and the SPY had a beautiful gap up today and a fade. So that's kind of what Mr. Squiggles is anticipating. I still do think that we eventually fill this gap. Today we got pretty close to filling the gap, and I like this little lower shadow right here. So if we take out this lower shadow, with today being pretty much a bearish engulfing candle, I'm relatively confident that we will continue to get that little rotation downward into this like double bottom-esque type of pattern. You'll see that the Qs, QQQ opened and traded right to the 200 simple moving average, leaving a one black crow candle and then some formation of a little bit of an ugly evening star right here. But again, if we take out the low of this particular candle, yeah, I think we're going to go down a little bit lower. Gaps today were abundant, and I do hope you were able to snag some serious gainages. Wayfair, no, sorry, not Wayfair. Weight Watchers definitely had a W in it. Weight Watchers, WTW, incredible bearish gap and go, trapping everybody. Here's the 3-minute chart, and if you were going to play it, it really was not that difficult. Bullish high wave candle, entry here, stop somewhere up here, and that was the rollover. A lot of traders played that one today. Mr. Robert Falco getting a good R and some change on that. And believe it or not, obviously not a trade I'll take super frequently, but I loved it so much that I actually went bullish on Weight Watchers here with a stop, not kidding, right there, and missed getting stopped out by 3 pennies. So Harry Potter really had my back on this one and ended up trailing out over here for a good gain. But the reason I went bullish was also because it was down 28% and it was bouncing off the 100 simple on a weekly. So there's a lot of reasons to go bullish on Weight Watchers just for a quick little move. Speaking of not bullish, Apple gapping down with a pretty decent lower shadow. So you have a little bit of a high wave candle on a bearish gap and go on Apple. And my overall thought process is we probably do retest a little bit. We most likely will go a smidge lower, but this was probably one of the more bearish gaps that could have occurred on Apple. I thought there was going to be a 75% chance of a bullish white candle today. I did think it would trap some people. Today did trap some people on Apple. Beautiful, quick run up. Nice little rotation lower. So realistically, I'm thinking that we'll likely get an inside candle, trade sideways for 2 or 3 days, and then if we start rolling over, I mean, especially if we take out or close below the low of today, which of course is Friday, then this red box is kind of where I'm expecting some selling to come in pretty fast and furious on Apple, and we'll likely come in and fill this gap back in August from last earnings down to that 192-ish area. So yeah, we'll be keeping a real close eye on Apple just for some bears to come in. It doesn't look super frothy for the bulls right now. Short term. Long term, of course, it's Apple. OLED had an immaculate gap down, but it did fade mostly because it was down too far, right? It was down like 30% or 39 points or something when it started gapping. And myself and a good buddy of mine, David, were looking at playing this one bullish most of the morning. So OLED had itself a nice little retest and just slowly kind of continued higher most of the day. Facebook, tried a bullish trade on Facebook that didn't quite work out, so I got stopped out of this particular trade on Facebook right here. Was going bullish above this inside day candle. Tried it, didn't work, but I am going to be watching Facebook really closely. Again, if it closes below 148.66, I'll expect this bullish retest gap to fade, and if not, just expect a little bit of a bullish momentum to start coming in. I do have 2 stocks that were requested. Here's BZUN, and BZUN having itself a very nice pop. This blue line is what I drew actually back here on the 17th of October. Expecting a trade higher, a rotation down, which it did, and then a perfectly timed bounce. So now you have a double bottom on the daily chart on BZUN. And look at this weekly chart. The 100 simple on a weekly is acting as a fierce support. So I do think this is a good level on BZUN to experience a dip buying, longer term bullish type of approach. Keeping a close eye on it, but I like the retest that came in a lot today. White candle gapping up. I like the lower shadow. You had 3 bullish candles in a row. So if we trade sideways for 2 or 3 days and then break out expect BZUN to trade up a little bit higher. And last but not least, this was a stock that was requested also, AMAT, Applied Materials. And on the weekly chart, it had a gnarly sell-off, pulling all the way back down to the 200 simple moving average. As a reminder, the monthly candles are over, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure to pull up some monthly charts and check them out because last month is now over and it is now November. So with that being said, on this weekly, you have a weekly bullish engulfing candle on AMAT. So if I was playing this one bullish personally, I'd probably try to get it on a pullback on the high of last week's candle, 34.54, and my stop would be below the low of this particular candle. But the good news is I do think the bottom has come in on most stocks. I do not believe, I'm not saying that it can't happen, of course, but I don't think that we close below the low of this week's candle. We absolutely and probably will trade down, like I said, one more time, maybe throw in a lower shadow, scare everybody before we bounce. Kind of similar to these two. So if you look at this, big bearish sell-off, bullish high wave candle, lower wick that scared everyone, and then we bounce. Big bearish candle, bullish high wave candle. Maybe we get a bearish candle, crazy selling next week into the 100, maybe even a little bit lower, and then we bounce. I don't think we ever, well, I shouldn't say ever. I don't think anytime soon we close below the low of this week's candle. If we do on the SPY and pretty much whatever stock or company that you're looking at, you could almost expect or pretty much guarantee that you're going to have some lower lows ahead if we close below this week low candle. And when I say close below, I mean on a weekly time frame. Again, I do kind of expect that we could come down again, kind of throw some lows, throw some wicks, get kind of close in here, and just don't, as long as we don't close below on a weekly, I'm still expecting this bullish trend to continue. And if we do, then I'll start thinking and theorizing maybe this is a head and shoulders pattern, and we'll just start kind of approaching it and playing it from that perspective. But only time will tell. We will see, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, let me know. Have yourself a great weekend. Real Life Trading turns 4 years old next Monday. And in fact, all the Real Life Trading squad is going to be here in Nashville starting in just a few hours. So Johnny's already here from Hawaii. Brad came down from Indianapolis. Angie's flying in from Sacramento. Of course, myself, I'm already here. Ashley's here. Albert's here. Latoya was unable to make it. Blake flying in from Denver. And yeah, it's going to get lit. I'm pumped. Ready to enrich tons of lives, help people learn this stuff. Folks from around the world, thank you for tuning in. You are amazing. I will see you later. And until next time, love life, and trade it. Bye.